this particular one, and then for long sometimes it's a because it was the US the generalization so real that she thought they were being invaded. Theory support to keep and when keep doing many of these things have been tried by the nothing but without theories.
Please share on this that I am fan. Gmail.
Now, 093 info ph info ph. That's number 093
when somebody inspires against me to say such thing, what is better than me to get proof? Say everybody there are many things brought out. But I think accidents when it's
can hear you, yes. People express one to spell that. Good man. Good.
I think we can educate people on this. So I think I'll take an example from that of Muhammad Buhari, talking about the Jubril stuff, and you just see very educated people. To be very educated, we're talking about how he's Jubril, and with all authenticity, with all seriousness, and you'll be like, what is happening? What is wrong with you guys? How? There's no fact. It's just to feel this hatred for somebody or something. You understand? I think the best way to handle it is education. And whenever you are in the midst of people carried away by this conspiracy theory, you just air your view and see as much as possible if you can. If you can convince them.
All right, if you can convince them. Emmanuel, thank you very much. Barry's in Ajib State. Barry, good morning, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, please.
Thank you. I want to talk about the conspiracy you are talking about.
Yes, conspiracy theory, yes.
I must commend Muhammad Buhari for that aspect. He has demonstrated a leadership on that area because people are conspiring. He's dead, he's this, he's that, and he did not say anything. It was this dying minute that he was able to tell in Nigeria that two people have been saying this and that about him. You know, it's not just some leaders that when they say something about them, they please call you, tell you how you did not go to school, how you did not do this, how you did not do that. They fly you immediately. But this one demonstrated a leadership of silence everyone. He refused to say anything about what people are saying about him. In fact, there's a place I went. He said, now, we are arguing that the man is dead. I think he's not dead. And a Muslim man cannot die and live. And when a Muslim man dies, he will be buried in the next 2 or 3 hours. That this man, I know is a Muslim. He cannot die, and the whole world will know that this man is dead. So I was arguing with people, and they say no. Thank God he is able to come up today and say that he's alive. He's 80 years.
But Barry, he's been alive for all this while. He has attended functions. He was in River State, I think, twice. During the campaign as well. He was also in River State. He was also in Part of the East. So they could see him. But it's not just, like I said, it's not just the Muhammadu Buhari conspiracy. There have been several others. Let me take your mind not too far away to the COVID-19 conspiracy theories. There were so many, and I mean so many of them. In fact, that particular event, talking about the outbreak of COVID-19, had led to, or has led to, a serious, a look at laws regarding, restrictions, information dissemination, research, transparency globally. Now, a lot of people at one point in time did not believe that COVID-19 was real. In this state, in this Port Harcourt, I remember, because we were locked down before the rest of the state was, talking about this building, we were shut off before we said, look, we have to enforce a lockdown. Going out, I remember the first time I wore my face mask out, in a day, nothing, Then when reports came through and people were falling ill, and they were testing positive for the COVID-19 virus. People kept saying, he not be like how they talk on before. No, they worry us like that. Our son go kill him. Our son. 90.3. Good morning.
Good morning to you once again.
Good morning.
Yes, I am okay.
Go on, Obed.
Well, when we talk about conspiracy theories, they can be factual, but not the truth. Understand? Because there is difference between fact and
fiction.
truth.
Yeah.
That's it. So, this time we talk about this conspiracy theory, we understand that it's born out of speculation and sometimes imagination. Just as you said, with regards to President Muhammadu Buhari being represented by Jubril, I'm seriously among those that said these ones that are coming up with these theories and don't have any proof at all. I know the challenges that I passed through. And if you look at it, we've had President Buhari coming up on several occasions to debunk this is the way Buhari, even members of his cabinet. And people think it's political and tribal because they've gone ahead in deceiving us. But today, even some of my friends that have come up with that theory today are confused and are confused among themselves.
They're confused. We'll go for a break. We'll come back. We hear from you.
I have sent my to where?
voucher, the 30,000 naira courtesy of Hyper City Mall. Yep. She's come, she's collected it. We haven't gotten the second person, but at least there's evidence that it was taken. I'm going to just pass this over to the administrative crew so that they know. No conspiracy theories here. Oh, by the way, we're back on that conversation. So 070-0923-0923, 070-0923-0923. That's where you find us on the smart number. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. 92.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning, please.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning.
This is Joy.
Welcome, Joy.
Interesting.
Welcome.
Yes, based on this topic, conspiracy theory. Well, it's I think out of enmity, people can say a man that is alive that is dead. And I don't know how our people reason, because in Igbo land, it makes use of their culture. I can look at Atiku. Atiku wanted to be president for 2015. He spent billions of money only to a man called from Sudan, Jubril is there. Then another man from Cuba, another man from the Niger Republic. Somebody is Aisha Buhari's boyfriend. Are we intelligent at all?
Wow. Really?
Is our brain like ordinary hen? We're telling you this. Are you getting it? So, Buhari was sick. And somebody who is sick can be okay. Because God says, I will show mercy to whom I want to show mercy. You are not going to kill him. It's only God that can take away his life. So, when people are talking like I say, it's a life from the pit of hell. Why must somebody who is intelligent believe such a thing?
But hold on, right? You asked a very important question. Why would somebody who might be intelligent or who's seen as intelligent believe such a thing? The same thing was said about COVID-19. The same thing was said about monkeypox. The same things were said about HIV. There were conspiracy theories. Did you know that some people believe that HIV doesn't affect children, only adults? That's why they would go and sleep with young girls so that the young girls can remove the HIV. Have you heard of those things before?
Judy, you are correct. All this depends on the capacity of your brain.
Really?
Because if your brain is maltreated, it's not working well. You will not, like if you're a wise man, somebody tells you something. Like I myself, I don't disbelieve anybody. If you tell me something which is strange, I will try to prove. I'll ask you some questions. I'll make my research over it.
Okay.
Are you getting me? That's what makes you a human being.
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you, have you taken any of the COVID-19 vaccines?
You mean me?
Yes, you.
Jude, I don't know how to say it on air. My own church is different. I am divinely connected. Are you getting me? So but I don't tell people to believe what I believe. I am on the topmost of divinity. So I'm not taking, and it cannot affect me anywhere. So, but I don't want people to believe what I believe. That's why I don't want to say it on air. That is not.
Okay. So you haven't taken the COVID-19 vaccine because you are divinely protected. You don't feel it can come near you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
I think I told you before that it is still up to 29 years now. I'm talking about taking antibiotics.
Interesting.
So based on my own, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Joe. See how we learn every day. Moving on, more messages. Okay, all right. So Love Bakare has just left our studios. Okay, and I have just presented her with the voucher. Thank you very much, Love Bakare, for coming through as promised. Okay, Vincent, all right, says from Bigbo says such theories is highly destructive, defamatory, chaotic, and brings confusion with several mixed reactions about the person in disclosure. Unfortunately, Nigerians are good with rumor mongering and dissemination of false information. That is why I don't react to any issues I hear unless the information is given by a credible source. Okay. 93.
Yeah, Mr. Zion, good morning to you.
Good morning.
In every nation, there tends to be hooks, conspiracy theories, rumors, and these mentioning. That is why the state authority, through the arm of the legislative, gave a body they call the NOA, National Orientation Agency. They have the power to debunk certain, if not even all, information that are not from the government source or authorized source. They work in tandem with all media, all platforms, to secure the integrity of that nation when it comes to information dissemination. But here in Nigeria, the people that are being projected to handle this office, I think they are not doing their job, or the government is not seeing that organization or that agency so important. And I stand to challenge anybody. For the past 20 years, the government of Nigeria have not equipped that agency with funds.
Well, I think I'd like to correct you there, because I do know that in the studio, the National Orientation Agency have made a few visits. I think one this year, about 2 or 3 last year, and the year before. So there is some fund. But I understand.
From January to date, how many times have they visited your teachers?
Now that's where you talk about the frequency. But to say they haven't been funded, that's not exactly true. But let me ask you,
these people will be in your studio virtually every week or every month or quarterly, because even every day conspiracy theories are being emanated in this country. Is it not every day you go on social media, one story or the other? Is it not every quarter? These are their work to stand to make.
Okay, so but let me ask you. You made a comment that such an agency it should work well with the government so that information that comes through for the general public consumption is genuine and factual. But there have been governments across this world who have made sure that they intentionally control what comes out, not for verification purposes. So there are governments, right now that are existent, that would tell people like me, don't tell them there's 10 people that got killed, tell them only 1. Or don't tell them that we have HIV yet, tell them it's mosquito bite, right? And then those informations, will come through and the people will take it. Meanwhile, there is a falsehood. There are people who will say, government is lying to us. Even here in Nigeria, there are certain things that happen.
When the issue happened,
they'll tell you that the government is not being honest. So how then do we find the balance to help fight conspiracy theories?
The Ministry of Information, in the state we have it, the Commissioner for Information.
Yes.
In the national level, we have it for information and culture. Now, what NOA stands for? Yes, there is debt. Why you see the today Nigerian government, through most of these information agencies, try to pet the stories, is because of the NOA is not being proactive. It's because the NOA is not what. If I may ask, how much was budgeted for NOA?
Wait, I don't think you have my point. See, you may have a point here that maybe the NOA is not properly funded, right? I would not argue or dispute that. But the question really is, what happens in a scenario where the government is actively stifling the freedom of expression?
It's not stifling.
No. I'm not saying. Wait, hold on. I did this government. I'm saying what happens when a government, because there are governments all across this world that people have said, this government doesn't let freedom of information come through. They don't let you see the truth, and so they're in direct control. Look at North Korea, for example. There is a total blackout. The only thing you hear about North Korea is what North Korea wants to hear. So how then can you say that a conspiracy theory is true or false when the government is the one actively making sure that you hear only one side?
See, I'll try to tell you something. The government does not want you to see just one side. The government is only trying to manage the information. because of the level of reasoning of the people, or because the inactive of agencies that ought to carry the news for the people. If those agencies are standing strong, most information the government will not even speak. It is those agencies that will speak. For instance, we made the mention of the issue of North Korea. We already know what's happening in that country.
Do we?
A lot of things goes on. Is it not so? And if the government of Korea want to tell you, they will tell you their own version. Do you know why? So that they don't face sanctions, or they don't face uproar, or if they don't come in contact of what may cause to a national security threat. That is what the nation or the government will want to protect, because those their bodies that have been given the strength of the information, they are not active. If today you hear information, oh, Mr. Zion has been involved in a car accident. Now, let us be honest. It's an information you got. But we have the road safety, right? We have the police, and we have other agencies who know about road accidents or road issue between Bayelsa and Port Harcourt. At least they should have, oh, there was one accident, but it was not Mr. Zion. Because the information was given by the authorized people on ground. Okay. And not people who have cameras that want to snap and carry gossips. What we see today is gossips and rumor.
This is not people who can. Thank you very much, Zion. Not people who carry cameras and snap. Well, these days we call them mobile journalists, mojos for short. All right. Let's read some comments. All right, Jude, good morning. Okay, Sam Oracle is probably at home with his family, right? He works at night, by the way. I'm grateful that the president has taken out his time to rubbish these rumors. They confirm any attempt to destabilize the government, which is being perpetrated, by these 2019 election losers. Or Joe with that comment. Interesting. All right. Yeah, okay. Now it says I heard the president said it's an attempt to distract his administration by mischief makers. My question is, what exactly is the president distracted from? Is it from massive looting in this administration? From billions accountant general looted recently? If anything, the president should stop distracting the attention of Nigerians and start packing his bag to leave as quickly as possible. Interesting. Do we get that? 90.3. Good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes. My name is Pambo.
Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you join us. Compliments of the season to you.
Good. My profession, I've been opportune to see COVID-19 patients in their hundreds. I've been opportune to see HIV patients in their hundreds and other infectious disease patients. I can tell you that one of the problems we are having with this conspiracy theory is religion. So during COVID-19, I was opportune to work in the isolation center, and we have a lot of pastors infected with COVID-19. A lot of them, popular ones. I remember telling one, please, as you are being disturbed, you are very fortunate to have survived this. Can you go back to your congregation and let people know that this one is free? What call you say divinely protected? Dude, I don't think there is anything like that.
Oh, well.
The only protection you have is doing the right thing. That is according to the guidelines of infection prevention and control. I don't think if you expose yourself to any of the infectious disease, that such that divine protection works. I don't think. So our mind has been changed by religious dogmas, and sometimes policies also have some part to play. So and another problem we have is, like somebody rightly mentioned, this National Orientation Agency are not actually doing what they ought to have done because enough information is not being circulated by them. They are not giving the people the information they needed to know that this test exists. So I think this is my position. Nothing like divine possession. These spaces and they affect everybody, including the popular religious leaders.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Talking about how information dissemination should be better worked on, So people who have had experience should also tell people the truth. Okay. All right. So we have just about 3 minutes. I'll read. I think I'll probably take one more call and maybe read one more message on the subject matter, talking about conspiracy theory. How dangerous can they be? All right, this one here says, over history, there have been so many rumors, and some of these things turned out to be false. But this is why rumors are very dangerous. We've had people who have lost their lives because they heard something that they could not verify. We've also had people lose money because they heard something that they could not verify. That is the danger of things like this. Conspiracy theories are usually born either out of misconception or maybe, in all honesty, Jude, truth, because sometimes the truth is hidden from the greater masses. Remember I asked that question of, I think it was Zion, that look, what if the government is the one actively involved in disseminating falsehood? What if? Because like I said, history has shown, if once again, before I forget, please go get this book. It's called Animal Farm. If your sons and your daughters haven't read that book, please let them read it. Animal Farm by George Orwell. Animal Farm. It's a very clear, it's a very brilliant book. It's a satire that very succinctly describes what we're talking about this morning. Because if a government is actively spreading falsehood, the conspiracy theory may just hold water, theorists will just hold water when they say, hey, see, Mr. Government of Jude is not telling you the truth. Though. They don't want you guys, to go and buy bola and fish, because they know if you eat bola and fish 2 times a day, you will become a healthy human being. They want you to eat only one, and then they'll tell you to things like that. Once again, go read that book. Okay. Now, Vincent says, the truth is that virtually all of us are victims, except some who are innocent. But let both the government and the citizens be civil in our information dissemination and propaganda, he says. Yeah, information dissemination and propaganda. Well, I'll tell you what's not propaganda. Conversations still continue right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We have a big one, a final conversation, 11 o'clock this morning. Also very important, winners have been coming to collect their vouchers, their gift cards from Hypercity. Do I have one more to go today? I'm not quite sure, but I'll find out because I like to give out those things, by the way. My name is Jude. Hello Potaka returns. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact. Although conspiracy theories could be fact. Or is it facts can be conspiracy theories? Wow. Great radio, huh?